tell us about how many of them
Okay, let me go
ditches
ahead
them.
and shut this off and let me go ahead and get this video started. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the NarikChase channel. We are on episode 24 of the Streamline podcast, and in this video, we're going to be talking about how in the hell the Call of Duty series can be better. More specifically, the next installment. I've been wanting to do this video for quite a while. Never really got around to it, but I'm doing it today. Especially since I have to work early. So for those who enjoy the break of the banks, they're going to be kind of probably late. They're going to be pretty late tonight. So sorry about that. It's not my fault. So my boss Thursday's off. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the Call of Duty series is this first-person shooter series that's basically following war. If you like Battlefield, then Battlefield is pretty much Call of Duty, except it's kind of better in some aspects. But they're pretty much, it's basically you're playing a war video game. And over the years, you know, when Call of Duty first came out, it was busting, kept getting better, kept getting better. And unfortunately, in the last few installments, the series itself has hit a couple of hiccups, especially with the gameplay and everything. But I am here to go ahead and throw out my ideas on how the series can be better. And let's stick in it for the long haul, because I got quite a few. All right. I think another thing, and plus, I'm one of those fans that does, one of the things about the Call of Duty series that people don't like is the formula that tends to replicate in every game. And basically, people play Call of Duty for the multiplayer rather than the campaign and the multiplayer, which if everybody just plays the campaign, the multiplayer, then your game really sucks. But anyway, let's get back into this conversation. First of all, I would like to see a Call of Duty game that's open world. If you're in another country, that country should be all access to the players at any time. Now, there should be obstacles and things that should be in the way to where they can't get to certain areas, like maybe have an enemy controlled area. Now, when I say open map, I mean open map the size of Far Cry or Just Cause. Like, I want an actual map of a country area. You can go explore, you can go set up, you can go do like recon and stuff. You can have firefights and like different places. I don't want this next Call of Duty to be just scripted to where you just go down that little railing. I don't want it to be linear. I want it to be a full on open map. There's no reason why they shouldn't do this at all. No reasons why it shouldn't be an open world Call of Duty game at all. You have if you're gonna go with the whole America is over there trying to kick some terrorist butt, fine. But wouldn't it be pretty awesome on open map? Think about it. Far Cry did it, and Far Cry is some of the best games out. So in terms of an open world, I think it'd be extremely awesome. Yes, have areas that you can go to, have areas that you can't go to, mostly due to the fact that you have enemy-controlled areas. And in certain areas, some areas would be lighter than others. Some would be extremely heavy. It would make sense to actually have a Call of Duty game where, okay, we're going to go to war here, so we're going to have to play this game as it is actually an actual war game. Me personally, I think it would either do the formula, the map type of Call of Duty, Far Cry 3 or Far Cry 4. Far Cry 3, you were on an island. Far Cry 4, you was in this area in the mountains. Can't remember exactly what the name of it was, but it was actually pretty cool. So either one, which would be awesome. And if you think about it, say if you're on by like the water, you can actually do that thing where you get into a boat and you can like go down rivers and stuff, utilizing the beach and everything. You know those little cool black boats that they always have? Like, that would be freaking awesome. But next Call of Duty game definitely does not need to be scripted. It needs actually just have a full-on open map. Another thing that will definitely change up the gameplay itself is there needs to be actual operable vehicles. Vehicles everywhere you should be able to operate it. Now, it should some be in certain areas than others? No. So I'm like, yes, you can probably get in a car anywhere, but I don't want it to be like you can get into a tank everywhere. No, I want certain areas you can have a tank. You can get it to access a tank or something like that. Like that'll be freaking awesome. If you're in a area where you're fighting the enemy, you can jump into a tank. You can jump into a car that's got a Jeep that's got a turret on the back of it. You should be able to get into a car, into a firefight. I don't know, pull it around and use it for cover or something like that. There should not be a point in these games where you can't use a vehicle. Now, am I talking about flying a plane or flying a helicopter? I would say depending on certain situations, because I don't want to have to go into like a firefight or something, and we're on the ground in this city and there's like a helicopter right there. Like, no, that wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. But if I was going to do a certain mission, they will allow me the freedom to choose how I would pursue that mission, whether I go by air, whether I go by land, or whether I go by the sea. So operating vehicles is actually a pretty good step in a direction. Now, I know there will be people that say, hey, this isn't Far Cry, you shouldn't. You should just stick. No, don't need to do that, because Call of Duty is at that point now where it has evolved. It needs to evolve to become a better gaming experience for its players, and players should be rewarded for that. Just like if the game is good enough, the companies that develop the game should be rewarded for it too. Actually have a story. Look, if we're going to have a Call of Duty game, I'm all for the whole different scenarios and things like they had in Modern Warfare and all that, but I want an actual story. I want an actual mission. Like if you play games like Army of Two, it's nothing but firefighting most of the time, but it's actually got a little story. The problem with Army of Two is the stories aren't as deep as they could be. I want a deep story from Call of Duty. Yeah, I think Infinite Warfare had not a deep story, but it had a story. I think what was the last one that had Kevin Spacey's character in it? Can't think of what it was, unless that was Battlefield. But I don't know. I want to actually have a good story. I want an engaging story. Perhaps America's going into this terrorist-controlled area with this warlord, and you have to escort this family or these children out, and you get to know the kids and all of these extenuating circumstances, which are maybe killing off some of the people, and things like that. Make for a very emotionally engaging story. Definitely need a better story. I would like to have a choice-based system too, because not only would that give players an incentive to go back and play the campaign over again, but it'd be also awesome to give the story a bit of your own personal interest in it. Like you had something to actually do with the story. You know what I mean? So if you make this decision to go here and not here, yes, some people that you have on your team will die. The decision you make to go here and do this and not do it here or something like that would make a firefight a bit harder on a supporting team or yourself. I want a choice-based system. Everything that you do in this game needs to have an effect somewhere else along the story, and I think that's what they definitely need to do. And have multiple endings. Have one where you fail. Have one where you succeed. You know what I mean? Have one where you succeed, but at a great cost. Have one where you fail, but the mission is like you might die or something, but the mission is successful. I want to see that in a new Call of Duty game. Definitely need tactical control of the AI companions. Look. It should be. I don't mind having a team of 4, and you control that team of 4. Just like if we're playing online with other people, 4 people. No, that would be awesome in the campaign to have that. 4 characters and 3 of them you can control. If you have a sniper on your group, or you have one of your characters that is especially trained to snipe. Yeah, tell them, hey, provide us cover. Hey, why don't you take a perch up right there, which I would like to see pre-established presets for like cover-based systems for your AI. So if you say, "Hey, I need you to cover me," they will automatic. You can pick which one you want them to go to. Like if there's 3 buildings and you're going down the street, you be like, "Hey, I want you to go climb up building 2 and stay up on building 2, so you can cover us from there." That would be freaking awesome, you know what I mean? So give us some tactical, well, if we need to retreat, need somebody to cover us, we need somebody to, hey, there's a guy, I need you to draw his fire while I go around, or I draw his fire and you go around. That'll be exceptionally awesome with tactical team control. And having said that about the controller, the teammates, AI, gotta be spot on. They can't be stupid. They can't be in a way. They can't be interactive. They can't be non-active. They got to be on point. Also, I would like to see destructible, and the environment needs to be destructible and interactive. So there's no reason that there should be a stack of boxes here and I can't interact with them. I can't destroy them. I can't shoot them. I can't take cover behind them or anything like that. There'll be no reason that there should be a table right here and I can't hide behind that table or jump over the table or something like that. There shouldn't be no reason for there to be a ladder on the side of a building and I can't climb that ladder. Everything in this game, for the most part, needs to be either destructible or at least interactive in some way. That was kind of one of the problems I had in Modern Warfare and some of those games. Because I played the older games. Black Ops is probably the most recent one I played. But I haven't played any of the new ones. And I don't know if they have that. But from what I've seen, I haven't seen that they're actually interactive and destructible like that. But if they are, that's on me. But that's what I'm just saying. Like next ones, they need to be more interactive and destructible. If you're like playing, I'm gonna go take this to Battlefield. If you're playing in the map and you're in the city, you should be, and that city is pre-programmed to be the size that it is and all that. They need to developers need to get on that, make it destructible. Also, I'm going to go with Battlefield on this too, and it kind of goes back to what I was saying. If you're playing multiplayer, you should be able to operate vehicles. I know some the maps on Call of Duty are more concentrated and smaller because of the firefights and stuff, which is okay. But I want them to have more expansive citywide battles, and I do want them to be able to have like planes and helicopters and tanks and cars. I want them to have the big shebang. And since everybody's online now with some of the games like, you know, the more recent Call of Duties, Battlefields, GTA 5, you know, I don't see a problem with them being able to make a citywide game to where everybody is just like a big battle. You know what I mean? So the buildings can be destroyed to a certain extent. I'm not talking about like fighting in New York or nothing like that, but just a good-sized city or a good-sized town with destructible buildings and cars and stuff like that. So I would like to see that as well. Definitely, I want to see character customization, and I want to see weapon customization, and I don't want the microtransactions. They are bore. They suck. The companies that do that are assholes. If you make a good game, people will buy it. They will put money on it. If you don't make a good game, don't try to half-ass the game development and everything, and then try and then do the microtransactions. Put as much content into that game as it needs to be and as you can, then come up with new stuff with it. Don't just, you know what I'm saying, have it to where you have one, you know, weapon skin or something like that. Throughout the entire game, you have to buy the rest of them. That's stupid. So I would like to see character customization too, and I would like to see cinematics based on those character customizations. So I really would like to see that, and I say the best game that did this was Saints Row the Third. You created your character, and when your character did the little cutscenes and stuff, it was your character that you created and not the actual character itself. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. Kind of like, you know, Fallout, kind of like Dragon Age. I want to see them do something with character customization, and even with like customizing your teammates as well as your own uniform, which I think would be a pretty awesome thing. So if you could control your AI team and you can customize their weaponry and their clothes and stuff like that, I think that makes I think that'll make the players feel more connected to those characters. But I would like to see them each have a specific style, but still can be customizable. Also, this goes back to what I was saying about the microtransactions. Call of Duty needs to have a system where you have tons of hidden content and unlockables. There's no reason the campaign should be linear and with no exploration and you not find stuff like this. Maybe perhaps you can find, better weaponry, more powerful weaponry, more powerful gear, like different costume design, costumes and stuff like that. Information on what's going on in the area in the form of like letters, recordings, videotapes, books, journals, things like that. I think they should definitely bring in the hidden content and unlockables, like especially with the weaponry and how I think what you do in a campaign should also kind of go over to your multiplayer. So if you unlock these weapons in the campaign, you unlock them in the multiplayer. I think that that'd be a great idea. Definitely start needing to have memorable players. Every time I play Call of Duty, most of the time I don't know who the hell the players are. I don't know, and I don't really care. There's no good moments for you to actually connect with these characters. There's really no good dialogue. There's no camaraderie where it should be. We need to have good, memorable characters. And I say, yes, characters. No, I mean characters, really. I'm sure Fallout 4 can have some great companions. I'm sure Call of Duty, I almost said Call Out. But Call of Duty can definitely bring, especially with the teams that all the games have teams and stuff. It should be memorable characters. Damn it. Also, this kind of goes back to the interactive nature of the game as well as the open world aspect of it. If you're on an island, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to call in airstrikes from battleships and stuff that are out there in the water. I think that'll be pretty awesome. Kind of like the mercenary system where you can call in airstrikes. If you're in a little valley area or the mountainous area, you can call in an airstrike and then have like a plane or a jet or something fly by and bomb the shit out of an area or a fort or just generally a place where there's too many bad guys for you to take out. That'll definitely help turn the tide of a battle that you're in or a place that you're trying to get into. I think that'll be a fantastic freaking idea, and it also would help to make the game feel more militaristic because now you have that type of support out there. I think it'll be freaking awesome. So that'll be great to have in a game. Also, like I said, with Fortune stuff and going back to Far Cry, there should be, as an enemy is controlling the area, there shouldn't be no reason why you shouldn't be able to take over the fort, take their supplies, get their ammunition, use their weaponry, take their vehicles and stuff, their uniforms and things like that. I think that'll be freaking awesome. Maybe as far as the story, maybe you're a group of Marines that got stranded in this terrorist area, and now you're going to try to take it over with the help of the locals. I think that'll also feed into how we can have like a fort and stuff. Perhaps take prisoners and or free prisoners to happily recruit to your cause and take prisoners for interrogation, for passwords and certain individuals and things like that. I think that'll be awesome to have too. Another thing, side missions. We need Call of Duty needs to definitely have side missions. The whole game shouldn't be from point A to B and that's it. No, it should be you need side missions. Perhaps if you're going to rescue someone, perhaps if you're going to assassinate someone, or you're going to capture, or you're going to interrogate, or you're going to protect. You know what I mean? There should be a bunch of side missions. Maybe you need to go get this. Maybe you need to go get this certain item to help with your mission. Overall, maybe you need to go over here to recon, or you need to go over here stealthily and take out a certain individual that knows things that could be hazardous to your cause. There should be more side missions to this. And like I said, be able to recruit the locals. That'd be freaking awesome. Have them use support. If you're going to go attack a fort, have them come in with their big guns blazing or something. You know what I mean? That would make for a better game. Weapon modifications. I think Call of Duty does have weapon modifications, so it shouldn't be anything like that. And the skill sets and perks depending on your characters. I think will be an awesome addition, even though it does kind of have that somewhat. But those are really my general ideas on how Call of Duty could be a better game in the direction that the series needs to go to. Yes, people will say that it's kind of copying off Far Cry, but the thing about it is Far Cry is not the only, it was not the first open world first person shooter game. And I think that Call of Duty needs to go in that direction too. Yes, they're basing a lot of the gameplay from like a fictional, like a realistic standpoint, and I think they do. They have a right to keep doing that, but I think they do need to come up with their own unique story set in modern day, and you know what I'm saying, implement that, build off of that. Because, like I said, I like the Call of Duty games, but it being such a scripted, and that's one thing I said about like the vehicles too. Like, it should not be scripted. It shouldn't be like this one little section you use a freaking vehicle. My thing is, like I said, and the biggest things that I have on this list are open world, no scripted areas, AI companions you can control, and mostly the story and campaign with like the different decisions that you can make. So guys, in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on Call of Duty. Did you agree with my points? What would you like to see be introduced into the series? And also, guys, be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on this channel. Remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays, videos will be uploaded. And see you guys to the next video.